A man stands completely still, face to face with an alien. But instead of attacking him, the creature gently places its hand on his head, and suddenly, he starts seeing another world, another planet, as if the alien is trying to show him something. Not kill him, but warn him. But the real question is, if this alien wasn't the enemy, then why did everyone else die? Let's go back to where it all started. The movie opens in 1947, New Mexico, where a radio operator picks up a signal he has never heard before. It sounds strange, but then he learns that a friend, far away in another state, is hearing the exact same transmission too. That is when things feel seriously wrong, because this is not a local problem. Trying to trace the source, the two pinpoint a location, and James heads out alone to check it. He finds a fresh impact site, as if something has fallen from the sky. His dog bolts toward the crater like it has sensed danger, but never comes back. James follows, steps closer to the hole, and sees something inside that leaves him frozen. A second later, a burst of blinding light erupts, and James is simply gone. The story then jumps to Antarctica in 2003. At an isolated research base, scientists uncover a mysterious object buried deep inside the ice. It is unlike anything they have seen before, so they pull it out and report the discovery to NASA. We then meet Julian, a professor at the University of California, known for breaking codes and reading hidden patterns and signals. Years earlier, he worked on the SETI program, listening for signs of intelligent life beyond Earth, trying to prove that aliens might actually be out there. The problem is that work never led anywhere. With nothing concrete found, the project became a joke, and Julian's reputation took the hit, so he walked away and buried himself in ordinary academic life. Now he teaches, and we first see him giving a lecture about communication, explaining that every living thing depends on some form of signal or response. The film is setting up the idea that communication will become the key to everything. During class, one female student acts a little too interested in him, and the movie hints that Julian has a weakness when it comes to women. It even suggests that his failed marriage may have had something to do with that side of his life. After the lecture, Julian is called to the office of the university chancellor, Dr. Bachman. For a moment, he looks worried, like he expects trouble over his personal behavior with students, but Bachman does not care about that. He brings Julian in for something much bigger. Scientists have intercepted a strange signal no one can explain, and because Julian is an expert in codes, they want him to examine it. The moment he hears that, Julian is interested. The signal is connected to the object recovered from the Antarctic ice. Studying it closely, Julian realizes it is not static or equipment noise. It does not match any satellite, machine, or system made by humans. The pattern is structured and deliberate, more like a message, almost like a beacon sending out a call. Even more disturbing, the same signal has been picked up in multiple parts of the United States. That is enough to make the authorities take it seriously. Because of his analysis, Julian is sent to the Antarctic base to investigate the source directly. For him, this is the chance he has dreamed about for years, so he agrees immediately. Antarctica's brutal winter and violent weather make even landing a struggle, and the journey feels like a warning that this place is cut off from the rest of the world. At the station, Julian is welcomed by Neela Olson. The facility is built deep under the ice, and shifting glaciers make the structure groan and tremble. Julian is unsettled, but Olson says the station has dealt with it for a long time. The base was meant for different work, studying genetically altered plant life that could survive in extreme environments. But all of that has been pushed aside because of the strange object. Julian is taken to it by the lead scientist, Dr. Alexei. The object is still locked inside a block of ice, yet the ice is melting faster than it should, which is why the room is kept unnaturally cold. The closer Julian gets, the more drawn to it he seems. And the moment he places his hand on it, something impossible happens. He is hit by flashes of memory and strange images, like the object has reached into his head and stirred pieces of his past. He also feels an electric surge in his hand, a sign that whatever is trapped inside the ice is not dead, not inactive, and definitely not normal. Later, Julian runs into Kate, a biologist at the station, and it becomes clear they were once involved. Whatever they had is over now. Julian still seems stuck, while Kate is colder and controlled, making it obvious she does not want their history to start again. She warns him to keep his distance from the other women on the base, and the line lands like a quiet insult. That night, Julian tries to sleep, but slips into a nightmare. In the dream, he returns to the chamber where the object is stored. This time, the ice is gone, and he feels something waiting for him, hidden just out of sight. The tension builds until the scene turns terrifying, and then he wakes up. But what seemed like waking up is not real either. It was just another layer of the dream. Now it feels less like Julian is studying the object, and more like the object has already started studying him. Olsen comes to wake Julian so he does not miss breakfast. Before taking him to the cafeteria, she gives him a quick tour of the station's indoor farm, where they grow genetically engineered plants. Julian asks why a place buried under Antarctic ice would need that, and Olsen explains NASA is funding it for the future. If humans ever live on other planets, they will need crops that can survive harsh, unnatural environments. She says the program was created by Dr. Michael, a biologist so respected, he won a Nobel Prize. The farm stays warm for the plants, so workers wear light clothing, and Julian finds the contrast strange. He then notices Kate talking closely with Michael, and it clearly bothers him. He tries not to show it, but the jealousy is obvious, and Kate's cold reaction makes it worse. When Kate comes out, Julian asks if something is going on between her and Michael. She shuts him down, saying she is there for research, not drama, reminding us Julian still has personal feelings mixed into this job. Back in Washington, D.C., top officials hold private meetings about the object. The Secretary of Defense, Ronald, studies Julian's file, making it clear the government knows more about the signal and the object than they admit. It also turns out several researchers tied to alien communication work, including SETI-connected people, have ended up at the same station, which cannot be a coincidence. During a break, Julian meets Graham, a communication specialist. Julian is obsessed with cracking the signal's meaning, and he is the only one truly convinced the object and transmission are not from Earth. To him, it is proof something beyond human civilization has reached them. Even Graham can tell Julian is treating this like the moment his old SETI life was waiting for, while everyone else tries to stay cautious. Some argue the signal could be equipment noise or a natural phenomenon, but Julian refuses to accept that. At lunch, Michael mocks Julian's old alien research like a failed fantasy. The pilots who brought Julian are still stuck at the base because the weather is too violent to leave. After lunch, Julian returns to the object with Graham and Kate. Since the code will not fully open, Julian suggests placing an antenna closer to strengthen the transmission and pull out a cleaner signal. He believes the message is deliberate, and they are missing the key. In Washington, Ronald is told the signal from 1947, and this new signal are connected. The mood changes instantly because it means this has happened before. Ronald orders Chancellor Bachmann brought in to deliver a message to Julian. Back at the Antarctic station, disaster strikes. The restraints snap and the object falls, crashing to the floor and breaking away more ice. The staff rush in and see its shape clearly. This is not a rock, and it is not some ancient frozen animal. Nobody can keep calling it a meteorite. Meteorites do not broadcast coded signals. Even now, Michael refuses the alien explanation. He brushes it off and walks away to continue his own work, as if arrogance can protect him. Julian forms a theory. It might be like a black box from a crashed craft, still sending an emergency signal. Someone suggests opening it. Kate objects, warning whatever is inside could carry an unknown biological threat, a deadly alien contamination. She adds that if there is an alien inside, then compared to it, humans may be as primitive as Neanderthals, and our technology might mean nothing to it. Still, the majority goes ahead. They cut into the object. Alexei studies a fragment and says it is not stone. It is a carbon-based alloy, an artificial material, confirming it was built. Julian keeps working on the code. Olsen notices the binary patterns and offers a few observations. Her hints help Julian see the signal differently, and the pieces fall into place. He translates the full message, and it shocks him. The signal says, "Do not open it." When the warning message appears, Julian does not hesitate. He knows it is a direct instruction, not a suggestion. Julian and Olsen run downstairs to stop the others. Too late. The object has already been opened. As it unlocks, it releases a massive electrical discharge, killing some people instantly. Julian and Olsen arrive to find an alien life form inside. What they opened was not just a container, it was a sleep pod. Then, a chemical substance leaks out. Exposed people die horribly, their bodies breaking down so violently they almost seem to melt. 4 are killed in moments, including Olsen. Within seconds, curiosity turns into a nightmare. In Washington, Bachmann is told the full truth. This is not the first pod. Another crashed in 1947, and when James approached it, he became infected. Inside these pods is a pathogen so destructive it can wipe out living tissue in seconds. If even one infected person escapes, contamination could spread beyond control and destroy the world. Officials also say something similar may have happened on Mars long ago. Their theory is these aliens may not want to kill other life, but the deadly organism inside them is part of their biology, meaning they may be carriers of an extinction-level plague. So the government makes a brutal decision. The Antarctic station must be destroyed with a nuclear strike before the infection gets out. That is why Bachmann is there. He knows Julian, so they want him to convince his old friend to accept what is coming. A Russian submarine is moving toward the area and will be in position within 3 hours. Officially, Bachmann is told not to reveal everything, but Julian understands enough. The station is sealed, so for now the outside world is safe. Nothing has escaped yet, but if even one infected person gets out, the virus could spread across Earth. The pod's opening blast has also knocked out half the station's power, and the storm outside makes escape nearly impossible. Now the survivors are trapped between 2 deaths, infection inside and a nuclear strike outside. Julian, Alexei, and Kate do not want to abandon the situation. Michael refuses to die for anyone. When he talks about saving himself, Julian clashes with him, and it turns into a fight. Near the pilots, they even get guns, showing the group is falling apart. Michael argues they are still alive, so maybe they are not infected. Alexei warns the pathogen may not kill immediately. It could keep a host functioning for a while, meaning they might already be infected without realizing it, and all of them have been exposed in some way. Cameras cover the pod area. Julian looks at a screen and sees something terrifying. The alien is no longer inside the pod. That silences everyone because now the threat is loose somewhere in the station. The alien's disappearance creates a new fear. If it dies somewhere in the station, they may lose their only chance to understand what is happening, or to stop it. The group panics and begins searching for the creature, while fear starts eating away at all of them. Julian is the first one to actually come face to face with the alien. Instead of attacking, he slowly puts his flashlight down, like he is showing the creature he means no harm. The alien seems to understand. It steps closer, reaches out, and grabs Julian by the head, but it is not trying to kill him. Through some kind of electrical connection, it pushes images directly into Julian's mind. Julian sees flashes of deep space, the alien's world, and pieces of the long journey it took. It is not a normal conversation. It is more like the creature is forcing him to experience its memories. Then it is ruined. One of the pilots rushes in, sees the alien holding Julian, assumes the worst, and opens fire. The bullet hits, energy bursts out, and in the next instant, the alien disappears. After that, Julian tells the others something important. He felt the alien's fear, and he felt the creature believed Julian was safe to be with. The alien may not have been hostile at all. It may have been trying to communicate. Michael does not want to hear it. He reminds everyone that in a few hours the station will be destroyed, and survival is the only thing that matters. Julian refuses to act blindly. Nobody moves until they get blood tests done. When the results come in, it is devastating. Every single one of them is infected with the pathogen, so they only have 2 choices. They die at the station, or they escape and risk wiping out humanity. On Julian's orders, Kate changes the code to the main entrance so no one can leave. At the same time, the Russian submarine is in position. Orders come through. The strike is coming soon. In 18 minutes, missiles will launch. Michael cannot accept the end. He is not willing to die for the world, so he teams up with one pilot, starts another violent confrontation, injures people, and tries to escape through a different route. But moving through the farm area, something terrifying happens. All the plants suddenly wither and die within seconds. If the infection can destroy the farm that fast, the outside world would not stand a chance. The pilot finally stops, realizing escape would doom humanity. Michael has gone too far. He shoots the pilot and keeps going. Julian runs after him, but Michael makes it outside. Then that same electrical force surrounds them like a bubble, shielding them from part of the environment, but the pressure is still extreme. Michael panics, loses control, and dies from suffocation. Julian survives because he stays still and breathes carefully. He does not fight the moment, he adapts. By then, the submarine has fired the missiles. Julian rushes back inside and brings the others to the exit point, explaining they might survive outside if they stay inside that field of light. But before the explosion hits, the alien returns in a brilliant wave of energy. In the final twist, it takes Julian and the others with it. A moment later, the station is destroyed. To the world, it is covered up. The news claims a power plant malfunction and says the scientists died there, but the final scene hints that is not true.